Hello. Well, today we're going to do an exercise using these two pencils. We're going to use a hard pencil and we're going to use a soft pencil. So what we do first, we're going to start with the hard pencil. The first thing we want to do, we want to kind of do our sketch first, very light. That's why we're using the hard pencil. It makes very light lines. And on this one, we're going to do a little scene of fountain, a little fountain on a home. It was kind of neat for this exercise. First, we had to do a circle. Look how I'm doing the circle. I'm holding the pen like this. I'm not moving my wrist or anything. It's just everything comes from my shoulder and my elbow. Okay. If you can do circles, I have a video that will show you how to do them. Please check that one out. And here I'm going to do another circle right here on the side. And I'm going to do kind of like a double circle because we need to have this little lip. Okay, like this. Maybe I'm going to move the circle up a little bit so it'll look better there. And it doesn't have to be precise, as you can see. I'm not worrying about being precise because we are going to move this baby around. So there, little lip. And this was a little fountain where it was some water was coming out of it. And I'm just putting just very lightly the place where the water will go in this little pool. And the only reason I'm doing this part right here is because I want to preserve some of the white. I don't want to I want to do too much in it. And this was setting in some stones. So I'm going to draw some shapes. You know, stones are all irregular. So maybe one like this. Maybe it goes all the way there. Maybe here start another shape for another stone. And that's about it. Very simple, nothing too complicated. Then we have some grasses growing all the way across this to here, and on this side of the wall, remember the wall's coming down here, also has some nice stones the other side, like that. Maybe we'll put a third one here just to make it a little more interesting. As you can see, we have one layer, we have two layers because this one's going to come out farther out, and then we have another stone right here. So we follow it and we find the other stones, and the wire is going to go to about right here. So that's about the basic of our sketch. Nothing too complicated. We're going to get the needle eraser, and this one we have to stretch to warm it up because the warmer it is, the better it will work. And also this how we clean it. It cleans itself when we stretch it. And I'm just going to erase this part of the pot because here's where the water is going to go, so we don't want anything right there. Okay, so having that done, we're going to go back to our hard charcoal again, and we're going to start adding tone or charcoal to the paper. Since I'm right-handed, I always like to start from the left, that way I'm not going to, by accident smear my charcoal with my hand. And it's always nice to sketch at a little angle, that way your hand is not going to be touching the paper too much. And here what I'm going to do, this is just kind of like to start mapping, see how this is going to work out. So I'm going to, very fast, I'm just going to pretty much shape all of the iron shackle to all of the shapes I have here. I'm going to skip the water part because I know I want to keep that white. And pay attention to where I make all those marks for the stones. Like that, like this. The light source of the sun is coming from this direction. So this part we want to leave kind of white right now. We don't want to touch it too much. So I'm going to shape this side of this pot, this clay pot. And look, I'm following kind of like the contour of the shape of the believable, like that. Everything that I think is going to be under shadow or darker than the paper, of course, of the water, I'm just going to darken. The inside here is going to be also dark up to where the water level comes. And also here we have the grass. And on the grass I'm going to do the same thing. And on the grass I'm just going to think about your drawing kind of like a fan, you know. It's going to be sort of like this. You see? Like that, in that direction. Come all the way down to where the stones are on this other side, right here. One thing to keep in mind is that you want to leave, get darker around the water. That way the water is going to really show later on. The darker is around the water, the brighter this is going to work. And also here in the background, we're going to add some kind of grasses. But here, since it's the background, not a whole lot of detail, we don't want to do too much to it. If we leave it too white, it's going to compete too much with the whiteness of the water. The water, we're going to go on horizontal lines. You see how fast we can create something? It doesn't have to take a lot of time, it doesn't have to be too tedious. Okay, so here we have just a very unified shape. And even though there are different shapes within the shape, but it creates more of a harmony. So once we have this and we're happy with the shape we have, we can start going and mapping this a little bit better. Here comes the water, so I'm just going to, if it's water coming out here, this forward is going to be straight line there, horizontal, and we have, there's a nice flow of water coming out. Here I'm going to define more like the stones and the shape of our pot because the stones will be kind of like overlapping the pot we have. We have one there. Also we have here, we have another stone maybe coming up to there. This is going to be kind of like the bottom of this stone. That's the edge of the water. This stone here in the background is going to come a little bit closer to us, not as far as the one in the middle. That way we can overlap. Overlapping is always a good idea. That way we can show, distance there. And here we're just going to go with the outer line a little bit. Just identifying it more. And here we're going to go with this. There. And the rim. Okay, so now we're going to keep on going here with the darker areas. Same thing here, maybe we can just create the illusion that it's just one piece sticking out of the ground like this, you see. This is going to be darker here because it's not receiving much sunlight. So you can create your own this water reflecting, so whatever is here we kind of have to follow the same shape, but no big deal. We just have to keep in mind, and that's going to be a little bit darker. That's all. You see, you can right away start seeing that something's going on here. Uh, there's some reflections. This part of the water will be darker because it's under, it's casting shadows from all of the stuff going on here. So here again I'm going to define this, make another stone behind there. All of this is done with the hard charcoal pencil, but I'm not putting any pressure. I'm going very light because I don't want to have any marks that I might not want later on. There. So here we're going to darken this part of the pot because it's going to be under shadow. It's not going to receive much light at all. And always following the direction of the object. You see now, look the movement I'm doing with my hand this time because we need smaller strokes. So this time I am using my fingers to move the charcoal on the paper. Like this, and I'm going to stop about there. I'm not going to go much farther than that. Okay. And this is going to be dark because it's not going to be receiving hardly any sun light. So like that. So it's part of the upper rock, right? It separates the rocks at the same time, so it's very easy to create these effects. And this one here, the back too, is going to be overlapping, you see? You can see that there are different steps. And of course here, this is going to be darker, but remember, here we have this kind of like this splash, this fountain is creating. So I'm going to get a little bit darker on this side, very, very soft, because here is going to be some kind of water, you know, moving. So here we have these taller grasses that are going to be a little bit darker than the water. Same thing, sort of like a fan-like deal. And this grass is going to want them darker than the grasses in front. Okay, so we look, squint your eyes, you can see right away where it's dark, where it's light. Great tool we have there to our fingertips. And here I'm going to start darken this. This is going to be darker because we'll be under shadow, right? So here we're going to create the illusion. This goes around like this. So I'm going to be doing some lines across. This it's a clay pot, and you know they always have markings. This is never going to be pure like this. So we have to put some tone in here because we don't want this to be competing with the water. So we have to darken it. There we go. And we're going to start darkening the bottom because this, of course, is going to be darker than the top. Now we can start defining these rocks a little bit more. Darker. This rock too is going to be a lot darker than the waterfall, of course, so we're going to start adding more charcoal. There, maybe this has a crease right there. You see how you can create different effects so fast. That's why I love the charcoal. You can just a few markings and you can really create some nice effects. This one to be a little bit darker there. There we go. Maybe this rock, you see I can start seeing things here happening. So as I see them, I start sketching them. Like this rock is going to maybe there have a different shape altogether. There. This one definitely will be dark because it's way inside us, so we're going to sketch it dark. It's kind of like overlapping this rock. So I'm creating this line, and here I'm just going to go darker all the way out. So I'm creating the reflection of this rock at the same time. Just like this one, darker in some areas, not in all of it. Don't make it too much uniform, or they're not going to look right. Very seldom you see rocks that are very uniform. And here I'm just going to go on there. Okay. There, where the water goes. And here I'm just going to start just doing lines across here, because this is creating the water, not moving the water quite a lot by falling. And then here on this other side I'm going to darken this rock, so the bottom one, and I'm always trying to keep that line of the water clean. This part is going to be darker there. This is going to be darker than the other side, like that. So now that we have most of this layout, we're going to switch pencils. Now you can still see a little bit of the side of this rock. See, gives it another dimension. Rocks are a great instrument to use just to give dimension, just to layer and create that illusion that something's going on there. So I'm going to switch now to the soft. The soft charcoal will give us a darker color, and the inside of the paddle course is going to be very dark because there's absolutely no sunlight going in. We do have, however, light on this side will be lighter. The right side that's exposed more like to the outside than the left side. So we make sure we want to create that illusion there. Sometimes circles will help blend everything, get rid of some of the white of the paper there. Same thing here. This will be darker, of course. This will be the darkest part of the outside of the pot, with the exception of this lip, of course. But you see, the darker you get close to water, the brighter the water will look. So that's kind of like a nice, works nice together. Here also it's going to be a little bit darker, and it doesn't have to be very well defined. Where the rock starts, where the weeds, or the plants, whatever they are there, or where the pot, is at, it doesn't really matter that much. And we're going to keep that shape. And everything that is closer, of course, here will be darker because there's no sun effect in this area. So, and remember, just keep your strokes going in different directions because we have grasses growing in different areas, right? Pointing to different areas. There we go. Now, same thing here for the rocks. We're going to do a little bit darker. There. And while we're going to start darkening it a little bit. And here we go just with little strokes, broken lines, because it's pulling water, so we don't want to have too many um, even lines. Okay, you see how we can create the illusion of a reflection? Look at that. We have there, and we can just carry a little bit down, and it really looks like it's reflected in the water. Just darken this up a little bit more there. Okay. Now we have here the water. And the water, of course, not going to be solid because some area is going to be affected by some shadows, right? So we just draw some lines and just leave a little bit of here that has been exposed to the direct sunlight. Uh, we can create some accents. It's always nice to have some areas that are darker than others. Start creating more of a realism of character, gives it to the scene. There we go. Here you can go a little bit on a circle like this, or the splash, just to create the illusion that the water is moving here, sort of like that. It's going to be a little bit more dark. So there we go. So we pretty much have this drawing done. Of course, you can go and go farther if you want to. There. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to get the stamp, paper stamp, and I'm going to go and blend some of this, especially where it's not a whole lot of sun coming. So we don't want too much of the white of the paper showing. So we are making it a little bit darker. Same thing here. How nice it blends. And these rocks are way too bright, so now it's the time to tone them down. But you see, you can use the stamp for this. You don't need to add any more charcoal or anything. Just use the stamp. Like that. Still have more accents here and there. Yeah, trying to get some of these grasses just grow in different directions. And here, of course, we want this a little bit not as bright. Like so. Just like here, the stones, the same thing. And this grass is in the background, especially the bottom part is not going to get a lot of sun, so we want to make those a little bit dark, but very little here because, like I said, we don't want our eyes to go too much here, so we are going to keep this to a minimum. But you can do whatever you want. You can make more plants or whatever, or something else here if you want to. It's all up to you. And the water, just to unify all of this. There we go. Same thing right here. On this one side, I'm going to start adding more lines. And now you have your water, the reflections in the water. Here you can push a few strokes down just to show that there's some of the stuff might be reflecting down some of the grasses. So here we don't want this too white because it's not white. So that's it, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. You can finish this, you can go take it as far as you want to, darker or whatever. For me, this is about the time I want to spend for this video, and just keep on practicing. You see how nice the reflections are? They really work out nice. Maybe I'll have time to get my eraser here, maybe just to get some highlights. Maybe right here on top we're going to see a highlight right here. Nice. Maybe right in here on the rim we're going to have a highlight there. Sort of like that. Maybe some of these are rocks. There might be, some might be hidden some of this stuff. Maybe right in here, this one there, maybe this one a little bit there. That way it doesn't look so uniform. In the water we can add some lines. And there you go. Now we have a nice little scene. Look what you can do. You can create just little holes in here, like sun is, the sky is peeking through. It's all up to you how much you wanna do to it, how much detail you want in it. But for me, this would be good. So I hope you enjoyed it. Visit some of my other videos. Like I said, I have one for circles you might like, and give me a thumbs up, will be great. Till next time, bye.